actually see you.
Welcome, everyone, to the Wednesday Night Live show. Yes, rub your eyes. Yes, that is Peggy. That's Peggy with us. I had to set up the Instagram. There it is. I don't know if you see the Instagram. It's annoying, but hey, it works out good because we're all centered. You see that? We're all centered.
We are.
Absolutely. It's a first for everything for the Wednesday Night Live show. We are all centered on the Instagram logo there. It doesn't happen very often. You know, they want to force you to that Instagram platform where it's straight up and down, whatever. So we're happy. But yes, people, ladies and gentlemen, Peggy Whitmore is with us. She's always in the chat. She's always helping us out. I'm so happy that she's here. I want to thank Michelle for getting this together and getting her on the show. It's just, you know, I love seeing you in the chat. I love Tim making up names for you, which he's not here. Tim's working today. He's stuck in some warehouse, poor bastard. But he's over there. So I'm going to try to do my best and say his saying, which I had it written down. It's insert name. How does he do it? Come on, Michelle.
It's Peggy.
Peggy, insert whatever damn name you want.
That's the one, yes. Whoever I want to be today, yes.
Yes.
So who are you today, Peggy?
I'm just the vape lady, that's all.
No, you're a lifesaver. That's all.
Kind.
Yes.
Yeah, we are going to get to know Peggy. I love having people come on the show and share their experiences and how they got started, what they think about the landscape currently, and what's changed, what needs to change. I'm working on a show, and it's coming up, and I'm going to try to get some heavyweights to join the show as well. But I asked ChatGTP a question. And I asked it how we could fix our problem. And it gave me about 20 things. So some of them make sense. Some of them don't make sense. Some of them are stuff that we kind of talked about. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to get a scientist, which it has some scientific quotes in that chat GTP thing. I want to get some shop owners, and I want to get some manufacturers on the show all together and go through them. I know it's chat GTP and it's a big bubble. It's a bunch of nonsense, but you'd be surprised. I was surprised some of the things that it came up with and suggested that we do to try to get this to where I can get flavors in California and New York, everywhere else. So I'm working on that show. I think I've got 2 people. I even need a lawyer. Believe it or not, Peggy, I need a lawyer for the show. And I
don't think we have any of those in this industry. They're just all tied up these days.
Who could that be? Yeah, I'm working on Greg coming on with that to share. It's always important to have a lawyer. I'm sorry,
Yes.
but you can have all the suggestions in the world and ideas, but if they don't work with the current system or there's laws and regulations, you got to understand all that stuff. So I don't understand that stuff. Michelle doesn't. I think Peggy does, though. I think Peggy understands a little bit of that.
I listen a lot. I listen.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Greg's a good teacher. We listen.
Yeah. Well, we're going to start out with Michelle. And Michelle, have something. Tim's not here, so you can just, make up this exciting week that you had. Just say you met like some famous rock star. Make it up. Make it up. They won't know.
Well, I did. I actually met some strippers on the beach, and they were men. So it was a good night.
Oh, God. What are the odds? What are the odds?
Not so good of a night, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't me and my
Just the
life.
fact
I got a tree. I got a tree.
Yeah, just the fact that you said on the beach pisses me off. On the beach.
It was hot that day, okay? We almost
It's
hit 80.
December. It's December, and Michelle, yeah, the beach. Yeah, we were on the beach. Peggy, how's your week
Yes,
going?
my week is great.
Yeah.
It was a good retail holiday for most of us, I think.
Oh yes, yes,
Good.
yes.
Good.
Yes. So
Yeah,
we
I
helped a
wanted
lot
to.
of people.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that because I'm glad you're on the show because we always hear Black Friday TVs and stereos and KitchenAid appliances and all this stuff that goes crazy during Black Friday or whatever they're calling it now. I was kind of curious how those holidays affect the vape shop itself. So it would be great to hear how that worked out for you guys. If it's a busy day, is it more busier than normal and you have some
We get
timers.
more groups of people.
Nice,
People bring more friends and family.
nice.
Family come in. Yeah, I was going to
Yes.
say, I bet you get a bunch of family coming in.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is a
People
good way,
It is.
just to introduce stuff to them, Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of it is. Yeah, I'll just plant a seed so they'll come back again another day, and that's all right.
Yes. No, that's good. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we all remember our first days in the vape shop and, going, trying to decide whether this is a safe or alternative, going home, Googling the crap out of stuff, looking up things, looking up, going to Reddit. Reddit in the beginning
Yes.
it was like, go to Reddit and, start reading Reddit articles and trying to decide whether or not this is something that's safer or not safer. And then finally making the smartest decision we ever made in our lives by going to vaping. So I don't regret it. It's been almost 13 years for me. So I'm glad I made that decision. And it's gotten tough for me here in California, but I can still find it. It's just, I talked to Tim about this and Michelle, but I almost feel like a criminal, because of the way I have to go about, and I shouldn't have to feel that way when I'm doing something that's trying to save my life, and I have to feel like, I feel like, I don't want to say Capone because that's just too big. I am Sicilian, but I feel like I'm, like at any moment I can feel the cold metal handcuffs being put on my wrist and put in a police car. I told you couldn't have mango, you bastard. My week, it's been cold. It's been cold here. Whatever, all you people out there in these beautiful places, especially those in Australia. I don't want to hear about it's summertime over there and it's like 115 degrees, but we hit like 38 degrees the other day and I had to turn on the house heater for the first time. I was like, nope.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me go through the list here. We got Robert, a lawyer, in the house. I think that's Robert. Yes. Say hi to Robert, ladies.
Hi, Robert.
Hi.
Peggy, insert whatever damn name you want. Cats is in the house.
Those are the cats.
Yeah,
Those are the cats. They sneak around.
Don. Yeah, Don the lawyer is in the house. I can't see that. Good luck with that one because I can't see it. Thank you for being part. The screen is so far away from me right now, people. So forgive me. Tim usually does this. I can see that profile picture. That's Steve and Don, and I can see those. And I can't see that. Somatic? Is that what it is? I can't see that. Well, thank you guys. Sorry, I'm a little I'm a little under the weather, guys. I'm running nose here, and I'm feeling a little sick. But I'm going to do this because I'm so excited to have Peggy on the show, and I want to start off, Peggy, thanking you again for being part of our little show, coming on in the chat, sharing information with our viewers, constantly giving out information. It's great to see. I look over and I see your name and I see you correct someone when they do. It's been great. We haven't had any haters come on the show, but in the early days, I remember you correcting a lot of our weirdos that would come in and try to jump into our podcast here. But again, thank you from everybody here at the Wednesday Night Live show. We're really happy to see you in the chat every week and helping us out. We appreciate it. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. And everyone, it's amazing too. Everyone gets excited in chat. Oh, Peggy's here. You see, Peggy's here. I love it.
That's
It's
because
like
we all
10.
love her.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like 10. Oh, I want to start you
Help me
off.
out.
I want to start you off, Peggy, and share a little bit how this all got started with you.
2012, I got a Titan tank little guy,
Little guy.
5'10", for my birthday. Yep, it was a tank. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was a 1 mil tank.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. And that got me started. And then 3 months later, I bought the store and just kept going. It worked for me. It should work for everybody else. They just need a chance to try.
So
It's
Peggy,
amazing that she's not the only one though, Michelle. It's just like we've heard this story over and over again on the show, and it's like someone buys their first device, and then less than 3 months they're buying a shop. I mean, that's got to say something. It's like because we've been through that battle. We all, anyone that's been a smoker for 20, 25 years has tried everything. Whether it's patches, gum, nicotine. Everything. I even did for my daughter. I tell the story all the time. My daughter said, "Hey, my teacher said put a rubber band on your wrist. Every time you want a cigarette, snap it." My wrist was black and blue by the end of the night. I was like, "I love you, sweetheart, but if I keep doing this, I'm not going to have a wrist." So, but it's amazing to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just,
and that's the passion that I have, and I like to spread with everybody else in town.
So are you a co-owner or do you own your shop?
Just me.
Just me.
That's what I thought.
Just me. Yep. And I got a great staff and a great bunch of cats that they're every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's just to have people that are knowledgeable around you and working for you makes your job a lot easier. You can come in and just make sure things are done right and go back to the back office. No, I'm kidding.
I know, isn't that great? It's a great dream.
It is. Hearing that story all the time, it's just I always hear. I love reading stories and like the History Channel does a lot of I can't get the word out. I'm not going to try it. But about entrepreneurs and just how, the Rockefellers and the Gates and all these other people have just, they see something and they just go after it and they put in 100%. And I'm sure you did the same thing. But 3 months, I mean, it's amazing. It's just in 3 months you decided this is what I'm going to do. And I'm sure you went in with the intentions of saving lives.
I know
you got to be careful. I know you got to be careful with that word. I know. I'm gonna be careful using it. So, yes. But you live in one of those good states, and you have Mr. Nick Orlando over there.
Yes, Nick and his fine gentlemen take care of us. Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
They do.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, what were your thoughts? Like, I mean, did the shop take off quickly, or how did you go about during that time? So we're talking 2012, 2013 when you opened up your shop. It was pretty much the wild, wild west. So there was you were able to advertise, you were able to sell everything in there. How did you go about that? I mean, was it word of mouth, or did you how did it all work?
A lot of homegrown. Tell your friends about it. Yeah. That was the biggest thing. Here's 10% off if you send a friend over.
Yeah. Nice. See, it's smart.
Yeah. But then everybody had a simple kit. Everybody had a 650 and a V3. Yeah. So it was easy.
There was no need for these, 18 feet long display cases with, 1,000 different. I mean, that eventually did come, but it took a little bit of time. Yeah.
And we had 10 mil bottles because I was a Totally Wicked store mostly. So it was 10 mil bottles. We didn't need that much room.
Yeah. 10 mil bottles and like 18 and 20.
Yeah. 24.
24. Yeah. That made life so much easier,
It did.
Yeah. For me too. I mean, nothing really here. The first e-liquid that I saw out here was a little, what do you call it? A mall cart, a little cart in the mall.
Yeah.
and he had I think like 3 different brands on there, and he had 18 mil bottle or 15 mil bottles, 18 to 24 milligrams. And I think back then they were selling for like $24 for a 15 mil bottle. And again, we didn't have, we didn't have all the big airflow tanks coming out yet, but it was due to come. And let me ask you, going back to 2012 and 2013, seeing that most people were able, our generation that got started early, was able to quit with 18 and 24. How do you feel about, seeing now, 25, 35, 50? I get, you can do it. I'm gonna let you.
See, I cringe. You just watch me cringe. It's like there's nobody in this world needs a 50. Nobody does.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few and far between, or encyclopedia guy, maybe.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I was a 2.5 pack a day smoker, and 18 and 24 was enough for me. And when I was running the Zamplebox community page there on Facebook, I started seeing the jewel, and I started seeing the numbers, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, 0.0. I go, wait, isn't that 50? I go, that's 50. Oh, it's synthetic. It's smoother. Yeah, but it's 50, right? I don't care how smooth it is. It's still 50. And then I started seeing these people that have worked so hard to get down to 3.
Yeah.
All of a sudden buying these, and again, unfortunately, some of us are forced into that because of regulations in our state and cities, and that's what was available to us. But I felt really funny because I was like, why you spent the last, I mean, I spent like 4 or 5 years just working myself down to 3 milligrams, and just to see all of a sudden 50 and synthetic coming out, and loopholes. And again, I guess we're kind of famous for loopholes here in this industry. So, which there are actually, lawmakers are getting a little bit smarter now and making sure they write regulations that make sense and try to fill in all the loopholes. If you had to point out one thing that needs improvement in advocacy, what would it be for you? And I know it's tough because you're in Florida. Things are a little different in Florida, New York, Chicago, San Francisco. But
it's the hardest is just getting that one message that's consistent. Okay. I mean, if we're gonna pick 95% safer, then let's pick 95% safer and blow it out. Or if we're gonna say the ash report's the deal, let's put together a graphic and push, whichever we decide.
Yeah.
But I can't get, other than, well, maybe because it's illegal, but you can't get books, you can't get pamphlets, you can't get, there's no information to share.
Yeah, you're limited, and to Twitter and social media, but even there, you feel like you're getting pushed out of the algorithm and not being seen by the people that you really need to see what you're advertising and promoting, a healthier alternative, and that, to me, that upsets. And we know for a fact that that's what's going on, obviously, and I hate saying the word, the Biden administration, and who knows as far as what was taking place when it came to vaping, and what was being held back from Google and Instagram and Facebook when it came to our posts. Twitter, probably not so much, but I think those other 3 platforms, suppressed our message a lot. Where they were getting rid of group pages. They were getting rid of anybody trying to the Wild West. I remember hundreds and hundreds of pages where that could go buy e-liquid from somebody from home. And they closed that door quickly. And for me, I kind of want to ask you this question, and I'm going to let Michelle ask me a question. Sorry, Michelle, but do you something I have noticed over the last 15 years? It just seems like we can't get the 3 most important parts of this industry together to advocate for one message. And you brought it up, and for me, it's always going to be the consumer, the manufacturer, and the shops. And whether you want to say shops or websites, it seems like we can never get those 3 together to come up with one common goal, and that's just to save this industry and make it better for all. Yes, we're all going to lose a little bit, but we're all going to get to stay open. And what's important is actually help people get what they need, whether it's, I'm going to say it, Michelle's going to cringe, mango. Whether you want mango,
I hate mango. Any
I
new
want mango.
bodies out there, I hate mango.
But yeah, I mean that's what I feel like. It's never been there. I don't think we've ever had those groups get together and just form a one advocacy group that has all those things in mind. And you know, we have advocacy groups that are just about consumers, which always was, CASA. And now you have, the vapor manufacturers, you have, all these different groups. And it's just like no one has the same message. And as a consumer, you're confused as hell. Who do you believe?
Right.
You're fighting each
Correct.
other. We're fighting each other, but we're all trying to sell the same thing and have the same goal. And that's to put flavors back on the shelves and give people options. That should be the bottom line.
But that's not the same goal for all of us anymore.
No, I know.
Because there's been so many of us, I say us loosely, that have turned more into the profit side,
right.
which isn't a bad thing. It's a good business goal,
Yeah.
but it's more profit centered than goal supporting.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Michelle, what you got? Fire away, Michelle.
I don't know how to word this. So
just let it out.
well, I don't want to get anybody, but are you seeing kids at all in your shop or trying to get into your shop or on the streets or any of that? Do you see underage people vaping?
I don't see the numbers the teachers tell us they have.
Yeah.
I don't
How's that? Is that a better answer?
I understand because here where I'm at, I never, ever, ever see a kid vaping ever. I mean, never. And the ones that are smoking, they're smoking. They're not vaping,
Correct.
And I've talked to several teachers and they say, oh, but it's rampant. And it's like, well, where are they?
But they're not vaping these.
Right.
Nope.
Right.
They're vaping little 2 mil tanks.
Yeah.
And they're easy to get here.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Anywhere.
And a lot of times it's not e-liquid.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. No nicotine involved.
Yeah, none,
But
zero.
teachers, they don't understand that there's a difference. I mean, unless they're young, they don't understand that there's
that has always been a problem with that word vaping, and they've used that against us for a long time. And go even back to the Ivale, we knew the truth, but they knew all they had to do was say vaping. They didn't even have to put anything else after it. They didn't have to put whether it's THC, whether it was e-liquid. No, just use the word vape, and everyone's mind. Yep,
that's it.
Everybody's mind is going to go directly to what they they assume it is. It's us.
Correct.
Yeah, the numbers for me here too. Like I'm always constantly looking around. When I'm at the store, when I'm in the parking lots, when I go bowling, all that stuff, and I don't see teenagers vaping. I really don't.
I don't ever.
Now, do I see them doing the other thing? Yeah, hell yeah, because I can smell that shit. And that don't smell like that shit. Don't smell like mango. It doesn't smell like mango.
No, it's not mango.
Not mango, man. I'm telling you.
It's a shame because I used to smoke a lot. I mean, not just cigarettes. And
yeah.
I hate to come down on them when you see them and they're smoking or vaping the other stuff, the THC stuff.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like I'll actually find myself wanting to go over to him and say, "That a boy, at least I mean,
Yeah.
Because let's face it, they're kids. They're going to do it. They're going to do something.
Yes.
They're going to do whatever they can that's illegal.
Oh, yeah.
And I would much rather, personally, would rather him
Yes.
do that than smoke or use liquor or whatever, because,
Correct. It is the lesser of many evils.
Yeah, but people don't see that,
No.
No.
Because you're
And that's
stupid.
what
No, I'm
hurts.
kidding.
It is.
You said it. You said it. I love it.
It's just,
I want to
it
say
just,
that all the time. Believe me.
God bless my mom. But when I quit, she's the one that got me started. She saw Blue on TV. I think it was the Phil Donahue show. He was, and it was, what's his name? I forget the actor that was pushing the Blue at the time. And I got a phone call at work. Hey, you got to go try this. I go, well, what are you talking about, Mom? She goes, some cigarette thing. It's a vape or whatever she said. It's called Blue. I'm trying to do it with my mom's Sicilian accent, which would just destroy it. But I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about? She goes, I'll go get it. And I stopped at Walgreens and I saw it. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? It was like, I think $30 and I bought the full kit. The little charging box, the little holder, the different flavors, and it worked. It friggin' worked. I went that first. I went through that pack, and then I bought another pack, and then I was in of all places, a convenience store, and I saw a vape device for the first time. And believe it or not, this is hilarious. I know. So if you're old school, you've seen these. But it was Cheech and Chong. And it was, the vape pen and the company that was making them was Zig-Zag. And it was Zig-Zag's product. And Zig-Zag had their own little, I think they were like 5 milliliter bottles, these tiny, tiny little bottles. They had like 4 flavors. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? Let me try this. Because one of the problems I had was I wasn't seeing enough vapor from the Blue. So, and I needed to see that. So when I switched, I was like, whoa. And it wasn't much more, but it was like, wow.
Yeah.
And that took me down a road, into where I started building and doing other things, getting involved with Zamplebox. But in 6 months, my mom looked at me and she said, my face looks better. My skin looks better. I don't stink. I look healthier. And that's within, 3, 4, 5 months. I was like, okay, if my mom can see this, everybody else should be able to see this. Cause your mom's pretty picky about your mom's going to tell you exactly what you don't want to hear, but for her to tell me I look healthier, and she never complained that I would come in the house, because this used to be a smoking house. There was ashtrays everywhere in the 70s and 80s. All my uncles smoked, everybody smoked, and I just started smoking with them. But she was like, no, John can vape in a house. You guys go outside. So, yeah, I mean, the wild west that we all came from, and everything was just, everything was just being pushed out there. There was all these new manufacturers coming out, all these new e-liquids coming out. Did you have a sense that some of these guys aren't in it for the right reasons? Honestly. I'm talking about manufacturers, the e-liquid manufacturers.
Correct. I can't tell you that for sure. I mean, I can see that now. Looking back, you can say, well, duh.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was doing a lot of Totally Wicked stuff. I was taking all the soccer moms that nobody wanted. Because they wanted, big cloud producers and not. So I stuck with the soccer moms and didn't see that much. It was different.
Yeah. For me, I you're right. Yeah, I didn't notice it at the very beginning. They all came in with the right intentions. They all came out with the right flavors, and the marketing was out of control. Whether it was on IG or Facebook or any other platform that they were, pushing their stuff. And at that time, I was talking to, I wasn't going to say his name, but over at Zamplebox, I said, the shit's going to hit the fan here. And he goes, you think so? And I said, yeah. I said, it's getting a little bit out of hand here. Does a manufacturer need to have 50 different flavors? And he's like, well, what do you mean? I go, well, seriously, before, many of the manufacturers early in the beginning, and great for them if they can do it, but in the early days, most of them had 5 signature lines.
Yeah.
5. And those were bomb sellers, you know, whether it was Milkman or you know what I'm talking about. You go down that line.
Yes.
Everyone had their 5 signature lines. And then all of a sudden it's like this company had 30. And then I was like, well, okay, you can start seeing that the creativity was starting to get a little too weird on the boxes and the names and the logos and what was being put on there. And again, we're adults. We should be able to, you know, buy whatever the hell we want to buy and have whatever kind of cartoon thing we want on there. But I had a feeling, I was like, early on, I was like, the shit's going to hit the fan. We're upsetting a large group of people that are out there that don't understand what we're doing. And unless someone gets out there and explains to the non-smoker, because we didn't have to prove anything to the smoker. They already hated us. They thought we were robots. They already thought we would look stupid.
They still
we all been in we all been in the bar where the guy's just laughing at us. But nobody focused on the non-smoker. And again, that was a group that needed the reassurance that this product was pretty good and it was working.
Yeah.
And again, that group also was the group that voted. Those were the 55 to 65-year-olds that show up every election and vote. And no one tried to go after that demographic and share what we were doing and how it was benefiting each one of us smokers. And I felt like somebody's got to grab that demographic because they're the ones that are going to vote no. They're the ones that are going to take flavors away from us. They're the ones that are going to take the hardware away from us. And they're the only ones that, look at the stats. You can pull it up on any voting thing. You can see who votes in this country. And it's 55 to 65. They're the ones that show up. And they're the ones that are saying, you're going to die. And again, Peggy, we're all pretty much the same age. That's the generation that got lied to by who?
Correct. Yes.
Big tobacco.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I think we're missing out. I think that there should be an advocate in every one of these vape groups that are trying to help, because I know that they're advocates, but let's face it, if you're an advocate and you're working with one of these advocacy groups, you're probably not thinking about it as an advocate as much as you are. I mean, as a street person, as somebody who's just buying it, that type of a person. And I think that needs to be elevated in each one of these groups, because we all see it differently than they do. We're not scientists. We're just blue collar people out here trying to stay healthy. They know the other end of it. They may know the numbers. They may know the lawyer part of it, the legal stuff, or they may know, another area, the scientific area or whatever, but they're missing us.
Yeah.
Which me,
but it's illegal for us to talk about it.
Exactly.
That's the problem is, we can't give everybody Dr. Mendelssohn's book because we probably go to jail.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, well, you can't. Somebody was making me laugh the other day. He goes, "Well, I can't leave it on the countertop."
Yes, and I do, and it's pasted all over the walls, and I have flyers, and there is a paper for everybody for them to take home and read. But it's illegal to give out Dr. Mendelssohn's book. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, synthetic Jake, I think that's his name. 1984. I love the variety, but when one company had 12 different pancake flavors, I was like, okay, enough, dude. What if figure out which one's the best one and just stick to that one? I don't need one with blueberries and butter and syrup, and then another one with this. And I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ!
But they're still doing that.
Yeah, they're still doing it. Yeah,
now
it's a little harder.
There's a blue slushy one that's out, and they made 7 varieties of blue slushy with apple and with pear and with what
mango.
Yes, watermelon peach would be preferred, but
yeah. Oh, poor mango.
Back just goes.
Yeah. And I think too. I don't want to say that the consumer passion isn't there anymore as much as it was, say, maybe 10 years ago. I think people have gotten to the point like I don't want to say they've given up, but they see that this fight is something that might not win, and they're just going to keep doing what I'm doing, unfortunately, and feel like a criminal every time I go to the store to go buy something, and I have to ask the guy and think, you have to know the shop owner. That's the other thing, the convenience store owner. So he looks at you, yeah, and then he closes the door and he goes out to the back and he's got a whole truck full. And I'm like, what do I want today? It's sad. And I mean, for me, it's just like we look around at everything else that's out there that can kill us. And yet this seems to be the one everyone's focusing on. And what upsets me the most is the people that are fighting us, they're not putting the numbers together. They're not seeing the bigger picture here. And the bigger picture is you're causing a generation to go back to smoking cigarettes again, and back to having emphysema, cancer, and all these other things that are going to kill them, To me, it's like when you see 480,000 people die every year.
A year, yes.
And it's just like you have a product here. And again, how many deaths due to vaping? E-liquid?
Zero.
And then I hear, well, we'll know in 25 years. Like I said, yeah, but
it's been 20 years.
That's what I said. I said, what's 5 more years?
I got a couple of milk crates set up back here behind the bar so I could just, get up there and start preaching.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're forcing anybody to do it. It's all of our free will.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not, it didn't take a whole lot here. Come on, people think,
Yeah.
I know.
I would suggest starting our own religion. So this way we can put it in the same category as hookah.
Hey,
But then we could talk about it. Then you could give out the Bible and it'd be okay. That's acceptable.
Yeah, we could have ministers. We could have chapters all over the United States, and just that's
and
our
the best real estate available.
tax free.
There you
Tax
go.
free.
Yep.
Great
Church of
minds,
Vape.
right?
Church of Vape. Hey, we get if you guys are, I don't know how many vape shows you guys have been to, but there used to be the guy that walked around as Jesus. Remember that guy?
There's one everywhere.
I'm sure he's looking for a job. So we could get him to dress up and show up and vape Jesus. That's what was his name. Every convention here, I see that guy. It's like, gee, what made you say to yourself, I'm gonna dress up like Jesus to go to a vape show?
But we all have different living rooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay to do that in his living room.
That's right. Hey, if he feels that gets him closer to the Lord Jesus Christ, then good for him, man.
Yes. And he can do that in his living room all he wants.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but he played that off so well, though. He looked like Jesus. I mean, if you take the normal pictures that are used for Jesus, this guy looked just like Jesus. And he walked around with the book in his hand, dude, and just kind of walking around blessing all the booths and stuff. I'm like, what?
And then he run into the Ruthless Girls. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Ruthless Girls.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Mary Magdalene?
Sounds like a night in New Orleans.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll fly in New Orleans. Sorry. What do you look at as far as the landscape in Florida? What are you looking forward to, or what's coming up as far as legislation? I know that you guys are. Nick has been a busy camper. I think all you guys out there have been busy with new faces coming in and going out, and some going out. What has it been like so far? The landscape there in Florida for vaping.
It's been quiet. I still live in fear every day because that's the way it's been. It's just, one day they're going to come and close my doors. I don't know. 14 years later, and I'm still saying it.
Yeah, you got to keep that state of mind, though. Yeah, as an entrepreneur, you always have to think that way. I mean, you can't help. Yeah, as an you're. It stinks, but I think people that think like that are more successful. Because they always got they always got plan B, and plan B is very important, So yeah, I have a lot of respect for people that go into business, so no matter what it is. And I mean, in today's economy and the way the world is structured, like my buddy's like, I'm going to open up a restaurant. I'm like, are you fucking nuts? Are you nuts, dude? A restaurant? Look at the statistics.
And you want people to work there?
Yeah, you want to work with people. You want Gen Z to work with you? No, but yeah, I have a lot of respect for people that can see a vision and jump on it and be successful. And obviously, you have been very successful. So in the state of Florida. So I'm just kind of curious how you look at what's coming. What's the future? More stores.
I give up on more stores. Okay, we may add another floor.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, but no, I'll stay nicotine. It's all nicotine, and as long as Nick lets me keep going, I'll keep going.
Yeah. It's amazing to see the differences in the regions, in the areas in the United States that have been pretty good with vaping. Some Pennsylvania, I saw somebody from Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's a little loosey goosey there, but you're paying a good hefty tax. But they're leaving you alone pretty much.
Yes.
They're letting you have your flavors, but they're going to make you pay for it, which is something I think is. Let me pull this up real quick. Let me see if I can. I have something there.
Yeah, we have no tax. We have no limits. We're good.
Right. Exactly. You're leaving the decision to the consumer. The consumer's making the choice. And that's the way it's supposed to be when you run a business. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, one of the things that, and I'll share a little bit because then this will be part of the other show, but it's about making it hard for teens to access flavors, and this is what ChatGTP came up with: ban kid cool diagrams, designs, which is something we've talked about. Ban the cartoon shit. No cartoon gaming images, emojis, candy style branding. No packaging that mimics soda, candy, cereal, snacks, etc. I love this one. Rename flavors for adults only. What's wrong with mango?
What's wrong with mango? Where'd you put my paper?
Mango.
Oh, she's got something there.
Here it is.
Yeah,
there it is. There it is. Yeah, Pop-Tarts. Yeah. I saw
Marlboro Pop-Tarts.
The Marlboro Pop. Yeah, they go together so well. S'mores,
yes.
S'mores and Marlboro. I saw one today on Instagram, and it just made me so angry, because we all know what we're going through, and I don't know if this is something that's coming out of China that's doing it, but there's a new device that's coming out, and they put the background of the device is Stranger Things. Yeah, it's the kids from Stranger Things on the bikes, riding through, not saying Stranger Things, but you can see it says it's Stranger Things logo. And it's just like, why, guys? When are you guys going to learn that if someone from whatever is scrolling and just comes about that thing? So pissing me off. But rename flavors for adults only. No cotton candy blast. No cotton candy blast. Unicorn milk, gummy bear, etc. It says you can keep flavor profiles, but give them plain adult names. Okay. All right. What is,
do doesn't work.
do doesn't work. Berry, coffee, spiced tobacco, citric mint, etc. That's what it said. Anything obviously aimed at children, e.g. holiday candies, illegal to sell. That's something we've talked about for a long time. Yes. One of the things that it brought up is the retail end. And now I know I'm going to piss off some retailers that are out there. And I know that there's one of the strongest lobbyists out there when it comes to convenience stores. Convenience stores. I'm talking about convenience stores here. Sorry. But give us our flavors. Let the shops like Peggy sell the flavors, and you can still have vaping in the convenience store, but sell tobacco and menthol. That's it. And it. Let us be responsible to make sure that these teenagers aren't getting the flavored e-liquid, And if you want the convenience store to sell vape, they want to sell vape, they feel like they're being left out. Well, here you go. There's your blue. Here's your friggin', here's your, and have
If they
tobacco.
want to sell more, then they can pay for the extra taxes or the licensing or whatever. Yeah. And they can open up a separate store or a separate area or whatever, but let them pay the price.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, is not taking away the possibility of the impulse buyer at the convenience store. There's still those guys that are going to see tobacco or see menthol and say, hey, you know what, maybe I'll give it a shot. It's still available to them. But eventually they will be coming over to us. And of course, it's like, well, wait a minute, there's mango? I'm going to head on over to Peggy's shop and get mango. That's what's going to happen. We all been through that. We all started with tobacco flavors. Then we realized,
and you do that for the cigar store.
Yeah.
You'll drive a half hour, an hour, 2 hours to get to the cigar store for that Havana pineapple, whatever.
Yeah. At $65 a piece.
Yes.
I mean, because we're not the ones, and I can't speak for all the vape shops, but we're not the ones selling the kids. It's been proven that we're not the ones. We're checking IDs. We're not letting these kids into the stores. I've even heard stories that shop owners denying mothers vape device because they know they're not buying it from them. They come in so confused. They know that they're buying it for their son, and the vape shop's picking up on that and saying, you know what, maybe you should try another vape shop because without telling her, we know what you're doing.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we have to play that game because that's just the way it is. But the 3 strike rule is another one that came up. First serious youth violation, a huge fine, and it's time to punish the people that are breaking the law, not us.
Correct.
We're not, they're getting it. They're not getting it from us. We know that for a fact. We know that they're getting them from their buddies at school, out of the back of somebody's car. Bigger fines, monetary compliance programs, loss of license nationwide, which is something I've been talking about. They do it with alcohol. If you get busted selling to minors 3 times of alcohol, you lose your license. Nobody wants to lose their license. I mean, there are things that could be done. And I think that we could all, as far as the manufacturers, the distributors, and the vape shops and websites, they can do to make this sort of system work. Having a way to know that you're not a minor. Have age verifications, making sure you have signatures when you do have something mailed out. All that, we're doing a lot of this stuff already. So for me, it's just like, what's holding us back? And it's just do you ever just kind of sit there and think, what does the FDA want? What could we put in front of them that they would just go, okay?
The shocks and shares of PMI. That's all you can do. That's what runs it. I mean, we know that.
They want their money. They want their money.
And if it's not coming from PMI directly, then it's coming from Advent Health.
Yeah.
Or whatever health hospitals, sponsoring the next event.
Yep, exactly. Michelle, do you have a little elf hat on? Or am I not seeing that? Oh, you do. I thought it was
I like it.
I thought it was something behind you. I was like, I kept looking at it like, what is that?
I'm going to put a little bell right here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I have a bell.
I'm really trying to get into Christmas, and it's hard because it's hot here.
It is.
Zamplebox spoiled it for a lot of people. I mean, that was for me. Zamplebox was a huge move for me because it was living in the Central Valley here in Modesto. I had no choices. I had nothing. I had that little cart, and he had Unicorn Puke. He had who is that? Cottonwood and 2 other companies, and that was it. And you start to get a little tired of having that same flavor all the time. And especially if it's not one you really, really enjoy. But when I saw Zamplebox for the first time, I was like, whoa, wait a minute here. I can try stuff from all over the country. And then, I was like, oh, okay. And I signed up quickly. And I was like, this is amazing. I get 6 bottles every month. And, back then they were all you know, 15 mil bottles, and those lasted you back then.
Yes.
Those lasted you a whole month. Damn, 3 milligrams and 6 ruined it for everybody.
Yes, it did.
That was for me. It was just like, you know, I set a goal, and I think we all did. I think we all set a goal to get down to a certain milligram, and then make that decision whether you wanted to quit or continue and stay at that. And I was like, I don't feel like I want to quit. I still enjoy vaping. I can stay at that 3 milligrams, and I'm satisfied, and I'm happy with it. But you know, I think we all start out that way, and it's just, you know, having these companies come out in the beginning with these 120 mil bottles. I forget the name of the company. They were the first ones. They had them for $19.99, and it was a 120 mil bottle. And their webpage must have been 300 flavors deep. I mean, you had this girl.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of that place.
I can't remember the name either. As far as Peggy, as far as hardware, you've seen it. You've seen it all. You feel like we're I know innovation's being held up because of obvious reasons, but do you feel like if things were to get better and we all get flavors, and I know it's different for you guys in your shops. I don't know what you guys are allowed to sell or not sell. Do you still sell RDAs and buildables in your shop?
Yes.
Yes.
A little bit, not a whole lot, but yes,
No.
I still have and those guys in wire here. Yeah. And
Nice.
I have a lot of Anakin stuff, but my store's huge.
Yeah. Because I always wonder, because that's part of the industry. I think, you know, we've gotten these, you know, devices that are so quick and easy and everything. Just, you know, we had to deal with the early days. You remember the tanks always leaking and the wick would burn. It was just,
and that's what customers still expect.
Yeah, they do. That's the weird thing.
Yes.
I remember the first time I forget it was kind of strawberry something I had, and it was I forget what tank it was. It was a Kanger tank, and it was in my pocket. It was too hot, so it started leaking. And I walked in now I have an uncle cut my hair as a barber, and it's an old school barbershop, and there's some old timers in there. And I walked in there, and those fucking old geezers.
They ripped a hard time.
They ripped me. They ripped me for about a half an hour. I was like, you know what, Uncle Pete? I come here for a haircut, not to get chewed out. You smell like a woman. What the hell? And I was like, what kind of cologne is that? And of course, they're all, have you ever tried high karate? I was like, yeah, high karate in 1980. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Michelle, you got a question? We only got about 8 minutes.
About how many people do you think that you have helped throughout the years total? I mean, I know it's got to be a lot because you've got a lot.
I would, and because I keep a day, I keep everybody's name, so I know how old they are. And
Nice.
Yeah. I've gotten like up to 15,000 twice, and I've deleted it.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.
A lot.
Bravo, girl.
Yes, and it's, you know, and some people have been here since the very beginning when I had an 8-foot folding table.
Yeah. It would be nice that we can get back into some normalcy, and you know, for you being in Florida and having a little bit more leeway, what would you like to share with some of the other states, and as far as, you know, moving forward and any ideas to help them out?
I don't know. It's just my
I know
hard-headedness that has kept me going.
Yeah. It's tough. You start thinking, all right, well, who's your advocacy group? What are they doing for you? Are you showing up to city council meetings? Yeah, it is difficult. It is difficult.
I expect people to tell me I'm wrong. Every day I'm told.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be, unfortunately, no matter what you're advocating for, whether it's vaping or clean water or what, you have to stay on top of it. You have to pay attention to what's going on. And if it's overwhelming, like I tell everybody, start with your city. Pay attention to what your city council is doing. Learn how the system works. And understand that you need to show up and speak your mind, and not just wake up the next morning and go, what do you mean there's a 25 cents a gallon tax?
Right.
And
Right.
you know, and play stupid. So for me, I always
Otherwise,
tell
Nick is going to look at you with the "I told you so."
I told you so. Damn it. I mean, that's the thing I tell everybody. It's just like, you know, don't be caught with your eyes closed and your ears shut, because, you know, if you're not paying attention to your, you know, and even like 5 or 6 years ago, whenever the hammer was being thrown down on vaping everywhere throughout the United States, I started hearing people like, oh, my city council banned smoking in every, and I'm like, or banned vaping. And I'm like, well, did you go to the meeting? Did you show up? There was obviously an open meeting. Did you guys show up? Did you get a group together? Were the vape shops involved? Were, you know, no, you know, you don't hear any of that stuff, because they just assume, hey, somehow, some way we'll get around, you know, the loopholes.
Somebody else is taking care of it.
Yeah, and sad. No, somebody's not going to take care of it. Peggy, being an entrepreneur that she is, she's going to tell you, you are going to take care of it. Nobody else is going to do the work for you. And it's just about showing up and representing this industry and your company.
And at the time, and that happened here. It was like 2014, 15. That happened here. And they were going to ban it because, you know, one of the representatives got vaped out at CVS. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But they were going to ban it in the whole city. And I got up off my butt and I went to all the local vape shops and I said, you got to be there.
We got to do something. No, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen here in Modesto. But they all played stupid. They all played against each other, because some of them were the bigger boys and they figured, hey, we'll be around. The shop that's mixing, they're gone. And that's less business we have to worry about. And I'm just like, no, dude, you shouldn't be thinking like that. It should. If you have a better product, if you have a better product, a customer will go to you. You shouldn't be eliminating the other guy because he's taking some of your business. Obviously, he's taking your business because he has a better product.
And I just want people to not smoke a cigarette. I don't care where you get it. I prefer you come here. But
yeah, exactly. I would rather you vape than smoke, period. That's the way I think we've always been. I think, you know, a lot of shops were like that in the very beginning. You know, you don't like what we have? Hey, there's a shop down the road. You know, head on over there.
This guy right around the corner. He's more than happy to take care of you. He'll listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Peggy, I am so glad that you came on the show. It's been fun to get to know you and have you part of the show. And, you know, like I said, I love seeing the comments. As soon as you come in, it's like, Peggy, hello, hand waving. Everybody's, Tim's just, he's drooling. He can't wait to say your name. He can't wait to come up with some new saying. But it was fun to get to know you and get to see what it took for you to get into this business. And I still amazes me 3 months and you made a life-changing decision like that. And to open up, it's not easy in today's market and today's environment to open up any type of business, but to open up a business that is constantly being pulled in every single direction possible, and to say, I'm going to stick this out, I'm going to make it work. It's amazing.
The tenacity she's got is amazing.
A lot of pride and pride.
You know, I'm a criminal somewhere. Somebody thinks I'm a criminal and I'm not.
No.
Man, I tell you.
I got one more question for you, Peggy.
You go.
Approximately how many different products do you carry in your stores? I know that's got to be a lot.
How many different premium flavors do we have? How many different premium flavors?
Oh, premium lines.
And then you've got wired.
Yes. Plus the salts. And that's
great.
Wow. Yes.
Wow. But you still,
most of it, yes.
You still sell tanks and wires and all that stuff, cotton and all of that you can get through. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I miss that. We used to have that company here. I don't want to say their name. They're out of business, but they used to have every Sunday, they would put the folding tables out in the middle of the shop and they'd have building classes. And
Right,
they give you this list to bring, screwdrivers, a drill,
That's
cordless
cool.
drill,
Yeah.
all this stuff. And every Sunday that thing was booked. It was packed. There was people in there, and they had like 3 or 4 guys, shop guys going around just teaching how to make basic coils at first, and then it just got more advanced. And they had Clapton Day where everyone was learning how to wrap Claptons. And but it was I felt, for the first time in my life, I felt like I was part of something that it felt family oriented. I always tell that same story. My first vape convention in San Diego, I felt like I was there for Zamplebox to take pictures, and I felt like, okay, this is just going to be a bunch of young. And back then, this was 18 and older. Back then. And I felt like I was going to be walking into this convention that was just going to be filled with a bunch of 18-year-olds. And I didn't get to I didn't get to stand in the line because I was with Tony and the owner of Zamplebox. So I got to come in through a back door. So I didn't get to see who was standing in line. And I walked in there, and there was guys in their 50s, their 60s. There was a 70-year-old guy there, going from booth to booth. And I was like, there were more people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s than there were 18-year-olds in there. And I looked around and I go, this is amazing. This is amazing, because this is that generation.
They'll turn around and tell the little old lady their favorite flavor.
Oh yeah. The first thing that came in my head is, this is the generation that got tricked. This is the generation that got lied to, and this is the generation that has been smoking for 25 years. So this is a clear message. This is the product that is working. When you can have a convention like that, and all of a sudden I'm looking around, I'm like, holy crap, everybody's in their 40s or 50s and 60s. There were some 18-year-olds there. They were there for the freebies, when they used to throw all the shit out there. But, the 50, 60-year-old guys, they didn't go over into that section where they were throwing stuff. They were in booths, trying flavors, trying different devices. Trying different.
Looking for toys.
Learning how to build, doing all kinds of stuff. So I was amazed. I was absolutely amazed. And I even told Tony that. I was like, this isn't crazy. This is crazy. This is amazing. This is obvious. People need to see this. They need to see that we're not, hipsters in our 30s back then, walking around with skinny jeans and ponytails and bums.
Yes.
All right, ladies. Peggy, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah, you are welcome back anytime you want to come back on and share any good news and bad news. If you need some help, let us know. We will be here for you. And we'll have to get you and Nick on together at the same time. That should be fun, huh?
Yeah. That would be fun. That would be fun.
Nick might let us get a word in edgewise, but we'll get you guys in there. Hey, us
we like
Italians,
listening to his words.
Yeah, us Italians love to talk. So,
yes.
All right. Hey, thank you everybody out there in chat for joining us. Always appreciate seeing you guys out there. We'll see everybody next Wednesday. Same time, same channel, same place. Ladies, look into the camera and say
we have
goodbye.
Another guest too next week.
Yes, we do have another guest next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
it's going to be a good one, especially if you're a veteran or if you have a veteran in your family. Please turn in. Make
one of those
friends.
I'm one of those.
I know, but you're going to love this. You're going to love this. So try and turn in next week if you can.
I want to meet Dr. Vermillion someday.
Well, you will next week.
Yeah, we had.
For real? He's like my Michael.
Yeah, maybe you can come. Hey, if you're available and you'd like to join us that day, let Peggy know, and you can come join us. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, all right, ladies. Johnny's got to go to work.
Love y'all.
Everybody look in the camera and say goodbye.